Hi everyone, Tailor here, the internet's busiest sewing nerd, and it's time for a review of the Singer sewing machine, the Singer Heavy Duty. The Singer Heavy Duty is a domestic tabletop straight stitch sewing machine boasting more power and speed than other domestic Singer models. As the name suggests, it was designed to sew more heavyweight fabrics, so think your denims, your canvases, your thinner leathers, that sort of thing. Equipped with a faster sewing speed, all metal frame, lightweight, coming in at about 7.5 kilos, the Singer Heavy Duty is a great choice for any beginner as well as experienced sewer to have in their arsenal. Now this has been a very popular machine. I've been seeing it all over social media, so it definitely caught my eye, and frankly, I just wanted to give it a try. Now the heavy duty model we have here is the 4411, and although other model numbers do exist, they're all fairly similar. Taking a look at the front of the machine, we can see that it's pretty similar to pretty much every single domestic tabletop machine out there. Big bottom knob, our thread selector, we have our straight stitch, our zigzag, as well as our buttonhole and our blind stitch, as well as some other stitch patterns that you probably won't even use. And above that, we have our thread length dial. This is pretty self-explanatory. It determines the length of each individual stitch. On one of our sides, we have our hand wheel, as well as our socket and our on and off button. We also have a buttonhole balance adjustment here. I've literally never had to use this, but I guess it's always good to have just in case. Now taking a look at the other side, this is also pretty simple. We just have a thread cutter as well as a screw here to access our light bulb when you know that blows out eventually and we need to go change that. The back is also pretty plain. We have our information sticker on one side as well as our lever to drop and raise our presser foot. Removing the extension arm, we can see a little lever underneath, and that just drops our feed dogs. The feed dogs are those little teeth, those little sharp teeth underneath the presser foot that help move the fabric on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Now taking a look at that extension table, it also comes with a pretty nice spacious accessory case. This is good for keeping all your extra sewing stuff, your needles, seam ripper, thread, maybe your bobbins, and it also comes with a pretty thin, pretty flimsy cloth cover. At the top of the machine, we can see some familiar things. From the left, we have our thread guides, our presser foot tension, as well as our horizontal spool holder and our vertical spool holder. Well, it's actually a hole for you to put the vertical spool holder in. That's an accessory that also comes with the machine. And on the right, we have our bobbin spooling mechanism. Really simple to use. Slap it to the right, put your bobbin in, and you can get all that started. And one more thing on the top, you can see that we have 3 wheels. From left to right, we have our main tension wheel. That just sets the tension of the entire machine. We also have our needle position wheel. This again just sets the position of the needle, middle, right, or left. And that very last wheel is just the thread width. This is good for if you're doing zigzags or buttonhole stitches and you need to adjust the width of that stitch. It's good to have some play with that. One more thing to note here is that this machine does have a metal strike plate as well as a top loading bobbin at the bottom. Some machines do have a bottom loading bobbin where you put the bobbin in at the bottom. Interesting that they chose this design to put at the top. Just one more thing to note. Now we can't have a review without talking about threading the machine, and thankfully this is pretty simple. If you threaded any sewing machine before, it's pretty much the same. Put your spool of thread in either the horizontal or the vertical spool holder and just follow the numbers on the machine 1 to 6. Put through the first thread catch, down, up, down again, through the needle. Really simple. You'll get it in a heartbeat. Similarly, the bobbin threading is also really easy. Put your thread in either the horizontal or vertical spool holder, run it through that first tensioner, put it in the bobbin, slide that mechanism to the right, and then you can just use your presser foot to thread the bobbin as large or as small as you want. Really easy, really simple. So what do I think about the machine? I do really appreciate the increased speed as well as the lightweight of the machine. As someone who frequently brings the machine outside the house, it's always good to have a really nice light machine so I can just carry and it's not going to be too heavy weighing me down. Also, this machine for something that's so lightweight is pretty robust. All the knobs, the dials, the wheels, the little rubber feet at the bottom just work really, really well. Not a lot of slip, not a lot of play in pretty much everything. Everything's really, really well put together. In terms of power, that's pretty good too, actually. I haven't had any issues with power on the machine. Really, really nice power. It's like I got a V8 in this thing pretty much. Oh man, V6, like a V6 in this. Going over thicker fabrics, so I really do appreciate that. I have sewn pretty much every material on this machine so far. Thick wool, thin wool, thicker leather, denim, a lot of thick fabrics. So yeah, I haven't had any issues sewing any of those stuff. Definitely had a good time with the machine. As long as I got the appropriate needle, no issue. Now, so far, the only downside I'd say to this machine is that it is a bit difficult to clean. Unfortunately, if you really want to clean out those feed dogs, you got to bust out the screwdriver, really go in there, take pretty much everything apart just to clean the feed dogs and get all that lint out. But other than that, it's pretty good. Would I recommend this machine? Yes, I would. But as I always say, the best sewing machine for you is the sewing machine that you use. So whether you find that at a thrift store, or you get one secondhand, or you just get a cheap one online, the machine that gets you to start sewing is a good machine in my book. Feeling a decent to strong 8 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this machine a try? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video. You can check that out or the link to subscribe to the channel. The Tall Tailor, Singer Heavy Duty, forever.